If you can't make the case for the economic progress that your president has made, and you can't stand behind him, I hate to tell you, but the strongest electorate for Democrats is black women. They strongly support the president. Not standing with your own president and your own policies, not a good look when it's a base election. All base, not crossover.
All right. Network like MSNBC that shows how out of touch they are. Rich Noyes, Research Director for Media Research Center and Senior Editor at NewsBusters, joins us. Hey, Rich.
Hey, Steve, how are you?
I mean, you know, they're an extreme, and that kind of thinking is extreme. But I'm going to do a Give Me Five commentary at the end of this hour where I pull out Bob Schieffer talking about the Republicans won because the mood was nasty. Then they're asking, oh, is the president going to get all kinds of legislation sent to his desk and he's going to have to veto it? Oh, no. And Matt Lauer saying, how are the Republicans going to compromise? What are they going to give in on? And that Joni Ernst is going to be a one-term senator if she reveals her true Tea Party colors. I mean, it just doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop. I mean, you know, if you listen to the media, you'd think that conservatives were taught a big lesson by the voters on Tuesday and that, you know, they need to compromise more with the liberals in the White House. Well, the real answer is the liberals lost. Barack Obama lost. You even had Huffington Post Howard Feynman saying the Obama era is over. I mean, that's somebody accepting the reality and moving on. Then you've got people like Joy Reid, who's like, if only they pushed Obama a little harder, if only they pushed Obama's accomplishments a little harder, it would have been better for the Democrats. I mean, this was not a tiny election. This was a huge election. You had it in state after state, state that the Democrats have done well in over the past few years, all going Republican, all trying to put a brake and a check on this president. I think that was the message of the election, and you got some people in the media that are just still refusing to see it. Yeah,
and you know, Eugene Robinson, at least to his credit, after Obama refused to categorize yesterday's or the election results at his press conference yesterday. It wasn't a shellacking as the first one was, the first midterm. He said, "Oh, as I said the first time in my opening remarks, you know, they did really well." But Eugene Robinson on MSNBC, I guess earlier today, said, "No, this is shellacking too." You know, or part two, and that's what it was. But again, it never ceases to amaze me the angles that they will come up with in the media to diminish anything the Republicans do. Mia Love was on CNN, and they were going after her, not going after her, but touting her. Her whole thing was because she was black, and she's like, I wasn't elected because I was black. I was elected because of what I ran on. I ran against these kinds of labels and these kinds of divisions, and they couldn't let it sink into their heads.
Yeah, I mean, it gives the whole game away. The CNN anchors see the world just like Democrats do through this identity politics. And what she was talking about, no, I won because of my principles. I won because of what I stood for. It didn't occur to them. It's, you know, we had a question today at John Boehner's press conference. Nancy Cortez at CBS was asking about all these extreme Republican candidates who are going to now be part of the Senate. And his answer was, look, you know, or his answer should have been, this was the Democratic campaign commercial that didn't succeed. I mean, this has been a caricature election for coming out of the Democrats, you know, painting them as extreme. The voters had that in front of them, and they went the other way. And yeah, but you still have reporters who are seeing it the other way. They are just not accepting of the results.
Yeah, and to their credit, there were a couple of good questions put to the president yesterday at the press conference, questioning his mistakes, questioning his, you know, working with or not working with Republicans, and wasn't this you know, a message to you from the public? He tap danced around those questions and never really answered them. But I was surprised, and you know, and Major Garrett had a good one as well. It's the usual few people that come forward with you know, legitimate questions.
Yeah, I think that's right. And you know, you saw a little bit last night and this morning about how the president's still sticking with his executive order concept for immigration that is obviously going to be a complete disaster. You even had Chuck Todd on election night saying, you know, the election results make that a non-starter.
Right, and Candy Crowley said it'd be like throwing a hand grenade in the floor of the Senate.
Right, and you know, we'll see how they cover it if and when that happens, because, you know, they all know that it's a hand grenade, and he would then be to blame for all the gridlock and acrimony that follow that. But, you know, you also had them mostly on the networks last night and this morning, particularly this morning, talking about bourbon. The bourbon summit was going to be sort of the cutesy thing that came out of it because that makes Obama look warm and fuzzy.
Absolutely, and there's not going to be any summit. Rich, always great to talk to you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Rich Noyes, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, Newsmax Deputy Financial Editor Rob Williams. How'd the markets do?